Hello. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing this year? I got Suni, Cat, the kids, Elhout, Dog, Joe, me, Madness. Hello, it is I. Fast the Mate. Never. It's mine. It's mine.
It's mine. I got it here. Oh, I have audio. Audio filters. You can't hear my tapping the mate. This one sip? No. Technically, that is how it should be. Sure, like, you know, if we're all sitting together, I make mate. We should pass it around. But I want. Virtually pass the mate. Let me do pass it. There you go. Now pass it around. But yeah, how have you guys been? We're having some thunderstorm warnings here, so if my stream dies at some point and I do not return, I assume that's what happened. Yippee! Please send thunder. It's not here yet, but like, you know, it might. In 1907, the Lumiere brothers introduced the Autochrome Lumiere Expedition 33. Sorry, I opened the game and, you know, it gave me the little fun fact that it throws to you at the start, and I'm like, what? Assume the worst got it, yeah. What kind of thunder do you guys get that it knocks out the power? I think it's because of the strong winds more than the thunder itself. It happens during thunderstorms for some reason. Or I think it's also because, you know, we got a lot of trees and trees get hit by lightning and then they fall on cables. And also the strong winds knock off trees that then fall on cables and cut the power. And you can have mate. I told you it's a lot. It has a lot of caffeine. Tree logs are somehow God's strongest soldier in a storm. Yeah, truly. So yeah, that's what happens. In fact, like when we got home, like almost a good part of the neighborhood here was without power. So we were like afraid. We were like, oh no, we might not have power. But we got home and we have power. Yippee for now. So you know, I might die at some point. It's hot in here. I went to see my dog. He didn't see anything serious, and I can continue with PT. He sent me to a neurologist, but doesn't seem serious so far. Why a neurologist for your back, though? I mean, I assume that's for something else. It's just that since I only know about your spine, I'm like, why would you go to a neurologist for your spine? I don't know medicine. I don't know enough medicine to see the connection there. But good! Nice. Also, again, when I saw PT, I was like, playable teaser? You can continue playing the hidden playable teaser by Kojima? For the nerfs? Oh, okay, that makes sense. I will believe you. Since I know I do not know better. I think I need to get a better grass for the mate though. Is the spinal connect to the brain? Yeah, but the thing is, I think I associate neurologists with like more like mental health issues since I was sent to a neurologist for my ADHD. I still have nerve pain, but we'll see. I can continue with GPT. Let's go. Neurologist to brain and spine nerve. I see. But yeah, like for some reason for ADHD, you also need to see a neurologist. I'm like, okay, sure. Why not like a psychologist or a therapist or something? Like, no, neurologist. Okay, sure. But yeah, I think I need to get better grass for my mate. I need to go to the Latino markets, see if there's anything. Because I think this one is very, I mean, it's probably like treated in some special way to be brewed as like, as regular tea leaves. So you put it in a brewer and then you just put like water. So when I do like, I follow the mate tutorials that I found on YouTube, it doesn't stay in place when I do like the little thing of like trying to leave it to one side and then like pour the water on the little hole. It doesn't stay. It falls all over the place. And I'm like, no. But we drink it anyway. By Valentina sauce. Oh, that's actually so good though. What the hell? I can't believe the poll finished and the server tag is officially dork. I see how it is. I'm hearing violent screams on the streets. I am assuming that Argentina is playing football. Either that or you're getting attacked by cascarudos. Could be anything. Okay, let me set that up right away since. Okay, the tag is set. By one vote. By one vote. Let me do an add everyone. I'll use my power. There we go. Democracia. I actually asked Coco. I was like, you know, I mean, I put that there, but like, you know, if you don't want it, because she was busy when I set up the poll, so I didn't want to bother her all the time. But then I was like, okay, so this is going on, and it looked like Dork is actually winning. So, but I mean, if you don't want to use it, we can use the other one, you know, the second one, because there is no real democracy under my roof here. So, you know, it's your choice. And she was like, oh no, it's fine. So that is now the server tag until further notice. It's a South American democracy? Yeah, exactly. I'm from Chile. What else did you expect? What is the tag for again? It's just a thingy that, you know, you can... if you see me on the Discord, you see that I have like a little tag next to my name that now says Dork, before said Wuwa. It's basically that. You just keep it there. You can only pick one from like whichever servers you have. So it's basically like, hey, I am part of this server. Yeah. And like if people click on it, it sends them to the server. Bragging rights, basically, yeah. Bragging rights and free advertisement. I mean, what? Free labor. I mean, what? and or everyone who uses it will get a special kiss on the forehead for me. Damn, the grass already absorbed all the water. How a tale thanks I'm also married. It's just a forehead kiss, okay? I can give one to your girlfriend too if she wants. Yeah, there's enough for everyone. She would say yes, and that would annoy me. No! For her kiss grandma said you, yes, it is I. I am the grandma. I am Grandma Fox. It is me. I'm gonna steal your girlfriends, guys. With my absolute lack of a personality. Okay. No, stop. I say I'm gonna steal your girlfriends as plural, as if there's anyone besides Yo here that has a girlfriend. Congratulations, Joe, on having a girlfriend. And well, there's Therma, but Irma is not here right now. I have 2 viewers in relationships. I will consider myself as successful. That they're in a loving relationship, and yet they still choose to come here and spend time with me. Congrats to me. Yeah, Joe, congrats to you. Congratulations. Anyway. Do I have anything to tell? I don't think so. I've just been kind of working these days. Congratulations, you spoke to a woman. Yippee! You spoke to a woman that was not an anime girl on your screen. Thumbs up emoji. Women are scary. Sometimes they are, actually, yeah. I agree. People are scary in general. But yeah, let's not waste more time just in case my power goes off. And also because we haven't made much progress on this story. And I get tired after a while when if I can progress the story enough and then I'm stuck like streaming reverse because I haven't finished the story and I want to stream other games and I'm like, ee! So yeah, let's jump into it. Hello, I have some lasagna. Do you want any? Ooh, yeah, lasagna is so good. Thank you. Someone was shot. That's prime progress. I mean, true. Yeah, you're right. Someone was shot. All right, let's go. Someone was indeed shot in this here world. But yeah, this is the thing I was like, oh my god, Expedition 33 reference. Because like, look at it. The Lumiere brothers introduced the Autochrome Lumiere. You know, Lumiere and Chroma. Yes. But yeah, that's the reason also I want to finish chapter. So I can go back to Expedition 33 and suffer. Because most of my friends are already done with the game. And they're going through it. And I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait to cry. For those who come after. Someone must show, so it's Tuesday today. Yeah. Yeah, some guy was spewing nonsense. And then in true Latin fashion, someone did not agree with his nonsense and shot him. That is not actually what happened, but it is also kind of what happened. I haven't been playing either. I did farm a little bit for a few days, but then I stopped. But let's see. Let's try your luck. I think I have enough for a 10 pull. No, I do not. Oh, god damn it. Then never mind. We go to the story then. I don't know if you can hear me LARPing on my empty mate. I don't wanna I don't wanna stand up right away to go get more. I'll go in a while. What's how many days do I have for this? 8 days! Well, I am not running this on stream. That's the other thing that makes me sad from not being able to advance story fast enough on a stream, that I can almost never read the character stories on a stream. Ruinas gloriosas y directrices de metáfora. Anyway. Go here. Wait, let me message my sister. I remember something. There we go. El Espidro mentioned? True, the spider's web. We're still on March 22nd. 10 p.m. Spider's web. Open it, reread it. Witness firsthand the events that transpire within the desert. What desert are we talking about here? Guess we'll see.
Ladies, I must apologize for what happened back there.
I also love that there's just like a beach ball back here in the water. Because why not?
We were caught off guard. There has never been a commotion of that scale before. I must report this to the physician.
Don't worry, Miss Jailer. We made it out in one piece.
Thank you for your understanding. Ordinarily, I would arrange to escort you to a safer location, but I'm afraid at this hour you'll have missed the last train. And the roads are icy at night.
When you got a pull, you need one? I mean, true. Hearing this, Recoleta exchanges a quick but meaningful expression with her companions.
Psst. Vernon, we can't leave like this.
Bertin is just unfazed by everything. Yeah, I low-key love it. How she just... Nothing phases her. She's like, okay, fine, sure.
We appreciate your kind consideration, Miss Jailer. But we still have some unfinished business here.
I see. I'll arrange a clean room in a safer section for you. We'll do our best to ensure your safety tonight.
We'll do our best, but we can't ensure it. Not like 100%. Cell, Komala prison. Night falls as the girls huddle together, scrutinizing their unfamiliar surroundings. Did they just throw them in a cell? Is this your safer location?
They actually found us a spare room.
This is not a spare room, Soneto.
Bleak, quiet, and somber. It's a cell like all the others. Don't worry. This isn't the first time we've ended up on the wrong side of the bars.
What kind of phrase? Don't worry, it's not the first time we've been in jail. Thumbs up emoji. I would be very worried if someone told me that. That doesn't change a lot, Bertin. Don't worry though, it's fine.
At least this time we're just here for the night, not a full sentence.
Soneto, you're not helping. Soneto lets out a whisper-thin protest.
Though, this cell is quite different from the ones we've been in before.
Yeah, Bertin, cells are different in every prison.
Not just this cell. The whole prison is unlike anything I've seen.
Don't tell me you also eat to prison, Recoleta. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
And the society they've been running here isn't some mere pastime. They're having real discussions about meaningful topics, even though the rest of the world has been cut off from them.
But we're still in an Arcanist prison, a place where conflicts and violence can erupt at any moment. Let's not forget that.
She made the Italian hand gesture.
Miss Jailer warned us from the start. These prisoners are mentally unstable and potentially dangerous. Miss Recoleta, with all due respect, we can't afford to see this place through rose-colored glasses. We'd be overlooking the risks, as we did earlier.
And with all due respect, Soneto, we didn't overlook any danger. At least I didn't. A writer must be observant if she is to accurately reflect the world in her writing.
They prefer the tornado spicy. Real.
But you...
We came here with different goals. And still, none of them have been accomplished. I suggest we focus on our respective missions, instead of fighting with one another.
Thank you, Bertin.
Apologies, Timekeeper. Miss Recoleta, I take back everything I said.
Don't apologize, Soneto. I'm at fault too. Sometimes I forget that words can be as sharp as swords. You were only thinking about our safety. I shouldn't have been so rude.
Oh my god, people communicating, apologizing, taking accountability for their words. Shocking.
I actually really admire how you fought back there. If you'd allow me, I'd like to write a poem for you, once my novel's finished.
Oh, she's blushing.
That's terribly kind of you. But honestly, I think we've had enough poetry today to last a lifetime.
Let me know if you change your mind. By the way, did either of you see what happened to the idealist?
Recalling their recent conflict, the indomitable girl finally hesitates. A poem she's proposing? Yeah, basically.
The jailer told me she went back to the gallery once everything calmed down. She found nothing. No blood, no shell cases, not even a trace of the idealist.
Timekeeper, now's really not the time for ghost stories.
It's alright, Soneto. You are accompanied by two young, strapping, strong young women that will keep you company through the night. Do not worry.
You mean that maybe the idealist somehow managed to get out of there on his own? Or perhaps someone else helped him?
Well, according to the idealist and our jailer, any inmates who are unwell will be taken to the physician. It's possible someone brought him there, while everyone else was shouting and running about.
You're right. It could be that he's with the physician right now. I'm relieved. That was a sudden plot twist, but a visionary of his magnitude doesn't deserve to die in silence like that.
Counterpoint, one of them is Bertin. Valid.
To be fair, the gunshot was quite loud, as was the ensuing commotion.
Nonetheless, he couldn't have just died like that. I mean, the writers would riot if a writer were to kill off a character so abruptly.
Oh, you will be surprised.
But you believe he's still alive too, am I right?
She knows her words are merely a cover. She needs an answer. A real, undeniable answer.
There's nothing that we can be certain of for now. But on a brighter note, we didn't come back empty-handed from our mission either, Soneto. We found Dr. Dorez's signature in the gallery. You were right all along, Recoleta. She was here.
But we didn't see her at the gathering. Could something have happened to her, like with the idealist?
Do you think she was also sent to the physician and never made it back?
This is all just speculation. If we want to find the idealist, or Dr. Dorez, we need to speak to this physician first. Miss Recoleta, do you believe that the idealist could be your pen pal, Aleph?
Whether he is or not, he's still my best lead.
That name touches a nerve once again.
Amigas, I've had this strange feeling in my gut since we got here. Something is slowing us down.
Amigas. Oh, I love her.
Now, to figure out what it is...
A silent fear grips her, like ripples suddenly appearing on a once still lake, unsettling in its quiet disturbance.
Look, it's a wild guess, but just wait till I finish. It feels like everything happening in this prison is somehow connected to my novel, El auge y la caída de la cordura.
El auge y la caída de la cordura. Interesante novela.
We're no strangers to wild guesses, and sometimes they're closer to the truth than you'd think.
So this... the rise and fall of sanity.
Sorry. What exactly is your story about?
The question scatters the midnight gloom. Outside, moonlight spills over gray-white snow.
Huh. Nunca pensé que te interesaría. It starts... Sorry, it's been a while since I told it from the beginning. A few years ago, I worked as a forest ranger. It happened in a desert town called Amalfitani, in Sonora back in 1975.
Two patient listeners watch the stammering girl, waiting for the next part of her story.
You know what? Most people say the beginning's a bit hard to get into, except for Aleph. I'm thinking of rewriting it, but if you like the sound of it so far, maybe I could read you the latest part I just finished?
She studies her readers' expressions, guessing madly at the responses.
Please.
Ah, you're reading.
Todo empezó con los datos de frecuencia de las cintas.
Alright, guys, story time. Get ready.
El patrón general parecía haber cambiado. Al principio, la investigadora de paracausalidad lo atribuyó a un error estadístico. Un fallo, tal vez. Oh, sorry. But after a few days and long nights of meticulous calculations, that explanation only became less and less plausible. The odds of success and failure kept shifting, and the chance of repeating the previous result kept growing. It was as if someone had tampered with the rules and tweaked it to their liking. She took her findings to Amalfitano, the town of nothing, as they called it then.
Aha.
Near the old looms, she met a blind weaver who spoke softly of an old tale. I heard a strange rustling at dawn, like a die rolling along a wooden floor. Then the morning light dimmed and died. That was the last time I saw the sun, my own hands, or the threads I worked with. The second time I heard the die roll, I was told the oxen in the fields sank to their knees and never stood again. By the third roll, the fields were crawling with frogs. Plows ran over them, and some still writhed, squeezing themselves deeper into the cracks in the earth. The fourth time the die rolled, 10 dormice plunged into the sea in a strange sleepwalk, and 10 bears feasted for the last time before winter arrived.
Huh. Interesting story you got going on there.
The final roll of the die was cast in a cage during a duel. Before a crowd of eager eyes, the winner left with 10 pounds of gold, and the loser left with 10 flies, which fell on him to feast.
They're like, oh. The quiet spreads through their cell like a rolling tide.
Is that all? Seems like it.
Well, there's more, but I haven't quite figured those parts out yet. Any thoughts? Anything. I can take it. Please, I really need some feedback.
I wonder if the protagonist ever finds this die of Babylon in the end.
Oh, Verton, it isn't a real die, it's just a metaphor.
Oh, I see. I must have missed that. Sorry. Still, it's a beautiful story. Sad, but beautiful.
The story is still too obscure, isn't it? Aleph warned me about this. In our last correspondence, he suggested adding the blind weaver to shed light on the hidden theme.
Also, I like how her story doesn't have characters per se. Like, you know, I mean, none of them have names or stuff. They're just known for their jobs or titles or whatever.
It helped at first, but even with a sage advice, no matter how hard I tried, the plot just didn't seem to move forward. Feel stuck in that village with them, lost, dazed, isolated inside their small, disconnected moments. Something crucial is missing, leaving gaps between the characters and the scenes.
Well, Recoleta, do you have an ending? Do you have an objective? Do you have an ending that you want to get to with this story? Or are you just winging it as you go?
Should I change the storyteller's perspective? Start a different angle? Or maybe rewrite the characters completely? What should I do?
Before the writer sinks into a swirling vortex of self-doubt, someone decides to push for something tangible.
Apologies, but you said your story somehow connects to what's happening here in the Panopticon. What makes you think that?
It's a strange feeling. Like, everything here belongs to a dream I once had. Only, I can't remember it.
Do you mean that you have a sense of déjà vu?
It's nothing to worry about. Our psychiatrist friend Kakania told me those moments are often the result of a dysfunctional connection between two parts of the brain. Like a little glitch in our heads.
Kakadimension, let's go!
No, it's nothing like deja vu.
The storyteller snaps back, politely agitated.
Deja vu is a single moment, a specific situation. But here it's everything. La sociedad, the rules, the idealist, even the incidents in the gallery. Each one unfolds in a similar pattern, like the grooves on a record, telling a story I feel I've listened to before. Amalfitano and Comala. They're two sides of that same record, playing out the same tune. Whatever happens in my story seems to be happening here too. I had that feeling when I met you as well, Miss Verton. At first I thought it was only an interesting coincidence. You're much like the first character in my story. A traveler with a suitcase.
The girl rumbles on, desperately relating to her characters.
But then I realized, the doctor, your Doris, she's like the blind weaver who lost her sight to the dye despite having always been faithful to it. And the jailer, she's the bank clerk who assisted the corporation in taking over the town in order to escape her past. And the idealist, he's the murdered donkey driver, and the dye of Babylon. No. Mis queridos amigos ficticios. ¿Qué rayos les está pasando?
Wait. Are you saying that everyone we've met here matches a character from your story? Like some kind of archetype?
Ayo?
That sounds unbelievable. But then again, maybe you're onto something. You see the world through a different lens that none of us share.
Not just the characters. The events here are mirroring my story too. Aleph. He's the only one who truly understood my story. If things are playing out just like my novel, then maybe Aleph is in fact still here.
Are you suggesting that someone is controlling the panopticon in order to make it follow the same plot as your story? That they've set the rules, started the poetry group, planned the attack on the idealist, and tried to prevent us from finding Dr. Dores? If that's true, Miss Recoleta, it's very likely that the one acting against us is in fact Aleph himself.
Dun dun dun. In the world of Arcanum, there are no coincidences. Insane about literature, just talking about me. You will very much enjoy this prison fair. They're only insane about literature. Recoleta never expected the chain of reasoning to unravel this way.
But No. How could that be possible?
She interrupts, only for confusion to creep onto her face moments later.
Why? Why would he do this? I don't see any reason why he'd be connected. He's an intelligent, cultured, and profound person, not a common killer. No, none of this adds up.
Remember, Dr. Doris was brought to Ushuaia by the Xeno rebels. And we know they're connected to Manus Vindictae. If this Aleph really is hiding Doris from us, he may be working with them.
I love when Sonero does that with their pen thingy. I love characters that just kind of spin the pen on their fingers. I would love to be able to do that. Recoleta stares blankly for a time before clumsily shifting the topic.
Oh, my... Soneto. I didn't know you had such a flair for stories. Maybe you should join us and become a visceral realist too. I think you're only imagining things. Perhaps you were inspired by this strange prison?
Perhaps we all need to start writing our own stories. Come
Meh.
out now. Whoever's out there, speak up. How can we help you?
Who's there?
Yeah, I'm Bertin with the Sixth Sense. Okay, recommended beast and mineral. is like... Oh, this is... Okay, I forgot her name. Hair! You know.
A fragment of truth.
Hair.
Charging. Don't be afraid.
Enjoy!
Aim and shoot.
Hair, of course. Yeah. How do you not remember hair?
Shell.
Naughty.
Damage.
Give them a warm welcome.
Don't worry. It's a fragment of truth.
Is that a fairy in the liquor?
I'll be right here.
I will be watching you. The feast of all feasts.
I forgot her name, but it's the other lady. The kind of VI is so good. She's so good. I hate you. Anyway, you did not hear that from me.
Don't worry.
A pot of liquor
Loading.
Would you care to lie down?
Her Kenny SVA is
Give them a
8 and
warm
done, by the
welcome.
way.
As long as I got you at my side, I've got nothing to worry about.
Oh, okay. Wait, do I have enough for a 10 pool?
When we travel on the tundra, the sleep is the less.
Not now, Yenisei. I do. Wait, let me refill my mate. You know, for good luck. Alright, here we are. Sipping mate for the marigolds, la Pachamama, exactly. Alright, let's go. Vale, sigo no mate. I'm sweating!
Thank you for inviting me, Miss Vertin. A typical room is more than fine. Oh, by the way, do you happen to have a swimming pool here?
I love you, Villa, but what? Not now! Well, no, I have her warranty though. I just need to. I just need to accumulate more. Camille could love for the wife of this condition.
Time is like a cold river flowing rapidly.
Oh, Miss Vertin, I suggest...
Right, okay, what do you give? What do you lock? The critical rate and critical damage bonuses are increased to 30 and 30%. Okay, I guess we take those.
The river feels cold yet gentle at midnight.
It's so good water.
Stroke
I have
people's
no
ankles until all the
pools.
worries are washed
I am
away.
so poor.
Good night. May you sleep tight like
Anyway,
a fly.
back to Argentina. Same day, 10:55, so almost 11. The Central Tower, a silent and merciless order of ideals. Can't believe my mate didn't help.
Easy, easy. It's me, Garcia. We met at the gallery earlier. Please, I come in peace.
Do you? Recoleta pays no mind to the young man's explanations. Her focus holds on the woman beside him. Gay? I mean, what?
It's you, Octavia! The murderer herself!
Octavia, that was her name.
Please, calm yourself, Miss Recoleta. The jailer has already confirmed that she wasn't the one to fire at the idealist. The shot came from somewhere else in the room.
Recoleta bites her lip, giving up a little space to the intruders.
Miss Octavia, what brings you here at this hour?
Octavia kinda fine though, not gonna lie.
I come here out of goodwill. Believe me, I didn't want any bloodshed either. I understand you just arrived today. There's something you need to know about the inmates here.
Their visitor's expression is weary and low.
We're outcasts, rejected by society and literature, and our privileges are limited within these walls. But before I started my own literature group, I struck a deal with the Panopticon authorities. If we cooperate and stay out of trouble, they'd leave us be. We could discuss literature freely and openly in Comala. Such a thing may seem trivial to you, but this is of immense importance to us.
She does have the anime mom, the anime dead mom hairdo.
Oh, there's no happier thing in this world than discussing literature. No one should ever put limits on it.
You're right, Recoleta. But we're prisoners here. There are certain rules we have to follow. Except, the idealist didn't see it our way. He refused to compromise, believing that the long poem and his so-called ism could break us free from the cage of the ever-watchful eye.
The ever-watchful eye.
Perhaps he was right. You might have achieved more if you'd listened to him. After all, visceral realism keeps us connected to who we are. You have to believe in the truth of visceral realism, because out there, beyond these walls, many of us still do.
And what has it changed? Garcia, you're the latest inmate here. Tell us, 3 months ago, before they arrested you and took you here, what has the visceral realism movement accomplished out there?
Beside them, Garcia, who had been patiently leaning against a railing, produces a metallic vibration on his grates. A rough paper roll burns between his lips.
At first, it was revolutionary. Young poets joined in droves. We held gatherings. And the literary world seemed alive again. I was just a kid when the leading poets left the city. Everyone thought it was only temporary. But it didn't come back. And nothing has happened since. No one says it. But we all know. Visceral realism died in 1977.
Damn.
No, not for me. It's not dead as long as people still believe in it. I believe in it.
Octavia ignores the childish remark. She knows that conviction can be as fragile as a spider's web.
Belief, faith, what is this obsession with the true self? Why does your type always insist on there being a true self hiding beneath our roles in society? Our disciplines?
Look at the idealist. He never once stopped fighting for what he believed in, even long after he was put behind these bars.
Idealist, what a name he gave himself. Who will he be when he finally breaks free from the eyes of the central tower? When he's left without his willful audience? And nobody. That's why. And that is a truth even he is terrified of.
Miss Octavia, I hope you've come with something more important to share than just some criticism of the idealist.
Damn, 13, okay.
You're right. I have an important message for you. Dr. Torres. I heard you were looking for her. The woman from the Sao Paulo Veterans Residence. She used to write under the name Erd, didn't she?
Uh-huh.
Yes, that's right. Do you know her? You're the first person I've met here to speak plainly about her. Do you know where she might be?
We crossed paths, but only briefly. I'm not sure where she's gone. Maybe the authorities know. However, she left this with me. I think you'll need it more than I do.
Octavia hands over her personal folder. Before they might open it, she has already turned to leave.
We have other matters to attend to. I'll leave you to your business. Garcia, shall we?
Their visitors leave in haste, their faces and expressions obscured by the night's shadows. The Foundation's investigators open the worn manuscript folder with caution.
The physician told me the horrifying truth about the panopticon of Kamala and the power behind it. Manus Vindictae. By becoming the panopticon's sole patron, they seized control of the resources and the allocation system, turning this place into a living hell. I suspect that the physician, the current highest authority here, is responsible for this situation. I discovered that the inmates were put through brutal training, even when they were too sick to carry out their tasks. They also forced pure-blood Arcanist inmates to wear their masks, effectively turning them into murmuring puppets.
Just as we suspected. Manus Vindictae is orchestrating everything. No wonder we didn't find them in the city. They've been hiding here all along.
No one would have thought to come looking for them here.
They snap the folder shut. A familiar signature, seen on the forward page of Uru magazine, and the receipt found in Sao Paulo's hateful home.
But why would Miss Octavia bring this to us?
Yeah.
What's in it for her? Do you think she's trying to mislead us, Timekeeper?
Maybe. But the handwriting in that notebook is most certainly Erd's. If she's leading us astray on purpose, why? Miss Recoleta, what do you think? Could she be Aleph?
Not a chance. Haven't you seen how she denies everything beautiful in the world? Aleph would never be so biased. No. Aleph is like a mirror. He reflects both light and shadow. But Octavia, maybe she hasn't looked at the shadow within for a long time. I know that look on her face. It's the look of a writer. I've seen so many like her during my trip. The faces of a lost, struggling generation.
Damn. Yuppie! Snow in March. Sure. Under the night sky, Kamala prison stands like a forgotten gravestone covered by fine, cold snow. In a room repurposed from a prison cell, 3 girls in search of someone share an absurd, bizarre tale. Meanwhile, at the entrance of the central watchtower, a jaguar knocks on a secure door. How does she knock?
Dr. Merlin, I'm here to report on today's events.
Come in.
Central tower waiting area. Frantic writing breaks the quiet of the room. The jailer's visit does not deter the man behind the desk. He continues writing, wholly absorbed, as if each letter were filling the world around him.
There was a commotion in the gallery today, sir. An inmate known as the Idealist was severely injured. The inmates nearby said he lost consciousness from blood loss. However, after we put everyone back in their cell, the Idealist was gone. I made a sweep of the grounds, but there was no trace of him.
Oh no.
It's possible that he regained consciousness and went into hiding. I'll perform a full search tomorrow.
The jaguar finds herself quite unexpectedly concealing the truth about Pablo.
No need.
Sir?
He knew the consequences of breaking the rules, did he not?
Sir, with all due respect, I think today's incident proved just how dangerous it is to let the inmates keep their weapons.
Yeah. Who thought about that?
We never should have let them walk around with deadly weapons. Even if we had to, we should have doubled the guards. We can't expect them to follow their own rules simply out of fear of the central tower.
The physician interrupts her sharply, with no hint of concern.
Such matters fall beyond your purview, jailer. You only need to do what's required of your title. Is there anything else?
There is another thing. 2 guests from the Foundation came through today. They said they were looking for someone named Doris. They've shown a willingness to cooperate, though they were involved with the incident in Corridor Zero.
The sound of writing continues. Her report is disregarded. The jailer takes a deep breath. The next part is difficult to say.
Sir, there is one more thing. I told Miss Octavia we're short on rations, and she's adjusted the inmates' portions accordingly, but that won't last long. Manus Vindicti stopped providing supplies back in March, and Zeno has collected all the prisoners they had previously placed in her custody.
Huh.
I just wonder why they have so suddenly withdrawn from Ushuaia and brought all the prisoners with them. I also noticed that we haven't received any orders from the government since Warden Tartuffe was transferred. In fact, we haven't had any communication with them at all. Sir, in frank terms, we're facing down a serious shortage of medicine, food, and basic supplies. At this rate, the Panopticon will soon be unable to operate. Where will our inmates go then?
The man before her says nothing for a long time, his pen still flickering over the page.
Can we ask the Foundation for help? They've sent their people here. Maybe they're interested in the Panopticon? I could arrange a meeting if you like.
You're unusually talkative today.
Damn! The man finally stops writing and looks up.
Pardon, sir?
That's fascinating, you know. You've become so much more concerned about this place and its inmates than when you first started. You are now dictated by your title.
There he is! The man, the myth, the legend.
I didn't mean to overstep. I'm sorry.
You can go now. I have a great deal of work to do. Oh, and one more thing.
He beckons the jailer back before she leaves.
Make sure this month's Kamala Congress is held according to schedule.
Yes, sir.
The jaguar disappears beyond the door, metallic footsteps fading into the distance. Only then does the physician allow his suppressed frustration to surface. Metallic footsteps?
How many times have I warned you about this? The idealist has to go. He's nothing but trouble for us. You're too soft on him, Aleph. Look at the mess he has us in now. Calm down.
It's Aleph, the voice in his head.
He's a rabble-rousing thief, a self-destructive maniac, a snake in the grass. He even stole the tea of Kamala from me. He's nearly ruined everything we've worked for.
The man angrily raises the once lost and now found die. In the dim room, it flickers with a comforting glow.
It's only a die, Merlin. It does nothing more than a die can do. You were there today. You saw what he did. He managed to change the Panopticon with this die, even if only for a second. He'll ruin my work, Aleph. He's a slave to his passion. His head is filled with impulsive thoughts. I don't trust him. We can't trust him. I've done everything you've asked. Now it's time to do your part.
Aleph responds with indifference to the physician's frustration, continuing his writing without pause.
Time's ticking down. I can't afford any further mistakes. No one can be permitted to stop my experiment in the Panopticon. I'll prove it to them. That we have found the path to the ultimate answer.
The ultimate answer to what? We've found the path to the The ultimate answer. Life, death. Waifus. Oh yeah. Cash, God, I wish. Oh, we can see the interior here. So that was the office, and he has some weird examination room here. Okay. Okay, now next day. Noon. Okay. We'll skip a few hours. The ant mill. The truth is, no one can truly bend fate. Story time?
La cabaña con el techo azul estaba silenciosa como siempre. En un sueño fugaz, la investigadora de paracausalidad descubrió la verdad detrás del dado de Babilonia. Examinó cuidadosamente los patrones ocultos, como un astuto astrólogo rastrea los movimientos de las estrellas. Lo que pueda parecer errores o accidentes no niega las verdades del destino. Por el contrario, afirman su existencia. Solo pregúntale al gran Heráclito. En un universo no observado, el dado de Babilonia gira perpetuamente, dictando el destino de todos en un tiempo que es tanto infinitamente largo como infinitamente corto. Mira, cerró los ojos. Respetaba la aleatoriedad de los números y el destino. Respetaba el juicio del dado. De lo contrario, se habría perdido sumisamente en los huecos del tiempo y bajaría para siempre como un fantasma en el olvido.
Ah. Hall of New Encounters. Also, I really love the writing sound effect that they use. It really relaxes me. In the solemn prison hall, under the hall light of the next day, the prisoners of Comala gather. Octavia steps into the podium with a stern expression.
First, allow me to make one thing clear. I had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to the idealist yesterday. I swear it on my career as a writer. As you all know, the idealist and I are the representatives of the two factions of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Américas. As you also know, we have been at peace since the Let Sleeping Dogs Lie agreement was signed a few months ago.
Oh, the Let Sleeping Dogs is glitching. Why is she so fine? God damn it.
Despite our differing views, we have coexisted to this day under the watchful gaze of the Central Tower. Rest assured that we will work tirelessly to locate the missing idealist.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself, Miss Octavia. His death wasn't your fault. After all, he was the one who threw the first verbal dagger.
The murmurs cascading below reach the ears of the prisoners from another faction.
Show some respect, you morons. The idealist is missing, not dead. I'm sure he'll show up in one piece before we know it.
Better face the hard truth now, Roberta. Though, I have to say, it won't be easy for you to find a new leader as mad as him.
Damn. A polite cough from the hostess pauses the heated debate.
Please, everyone, quiet down.
Yo, what? Look at her.
According to the agreement, today's Congress should have been chaired by the idealist. Since he is still missing, I will be acting on his...
Pardon my lateness. Go ahead. I'm ready to moderate.
Unfamiliar footsteps break the regular pattern of events. The jailer leads her visitors to the entrance of the prison hall.
Miss Vert, I looked over the incarceration and visitor records from the past 6 months. There was no mention of anyone named Doris.
Then it seems only the physician knows the whereabouts of Dr. Dorez. Miss Jailer, we need to meet with the physician. It's important.
Listen, You really shouldn't take the inmates' ramblings too seriously.
Considering the identity of the person before her, the jailer softened her tone.
But if it's as critical as you say, I'll make another request later. That said, I'm afraid the meeting won't happen for at least a few days.
Understood.
For now, please join us for today's Congress.
Espectacular! Do you hold literary salons like this every day? This place is practically a writer's paradise.
Espectacular!
So, you're the host of the salon, Octavia? I say we set aside our differences and have a titillating literary discussion.
You've come at the right time. You may serve as witnesses for the Congress alongside the jailer, like a citizen's jury in a court.
Your suggestion aligns with the congressional rules. Very well.
Huh? Congress? Witnesses?
Who are we trialing?
Isn't this a salon? Which topic are we discussing? Literary theories? Schools? Principles? Languages? Oh, narrative perspectives?
None of those.
Octavia lowers her head, giving her questioner a long and deep look.
This Congress is about the randomness of fate, Miss Recoleta.
Ah, okay.
Randomness of fate?
As she sinks into confusion and bewilderment, the jailer's voice rises into a triumphant introduction.
Dear visitors from the Foundation, allow me to introduce the Kamala Congress. What happened yesterday was merely a brief anomaly. In the Panopticon, spontaneous order among the inmates is the norm, and the Kamala Congress serves as its truest reflection.
Spontaneous order?
Yes. Through the Congress, the inmates assign and distribute medication, communal duties, and rest periods. They are entirely self-regulated.
Her tone is filled with pride.
I hereby announce the commencement of the 7th Kamala Congress.
Spontaneous order, so anarchy. Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean spontaneous order? As her words fall, Octavia takes out a worn lottery box and a small trinket from her hand. The prisoners move in perfect order like a swarm of ants.
A cardboard box and... is that a paper die? It has 20 sides.
Yo, we're about to make some perception rolls in here.
Huh?
We carefully examine hidden patterns, much like an astute astrologer tracks the movements of the stars.
Wait a second! That's what we saw Recoleta right.
Isn't this...
From somewhere in the audience, the girl unconsciously mumbles a revelation.
Isn't this just like the Die of Babylon? The MacGuffin that weaves through the entire plot? The infinite symbiote of fate? And the symbol that compresses time into a shriveled circle?
What may seem like errors or accidents doesn't negate the verities of destiny. On the contrary, they affirm its very existence. Just ask the great Heraclito.
This is exactly the line that Recoleta was writing.
In an unobserved universe, the die spins in perpetuity.
Dictating the fate of all in time that is both infinitely long and infinitely short?
Look, I've closed my eyes. I respect the randomness of the numbers and destiny. I respect the die's judgment.
As the prisoners recite their announcements, the author's voice becomes more and more sluggish.
Otherwise, we will acquiesce and lose ourselves in the gaps of time and wander forever as ghosts in oblivion.
What?
I don't understand what's going on.
I love how all the still has some kind of tango on the mix. Oh, that reminds me, I have not listened to the new song. I think they released a song in Spanish. Remind me to listen to it later. When your fanfic goes real. Bro, yeah. Sheesh.
Oh, but the irony that I probably have more idea what's going on than anyone here.
Miss Recoleta, this is all in your novel, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. The recitations, the references to an astrologer and Heraclito, they couldn't possibly be just a coincidence. Then, could it be? Will they look to the die to dictate their fate?
The girl's audible shock does not affect the proceedings on stage. The Congress continues.
I shall perform the first roll. Its result will determine the subsequent roll order for this Congress.
Yo, a nat 20? The hostess tosses the 20-sided die into the cardboard box and begins shaking it rhythmically.
The result is 5. This check complies with the prerequisite conditions of the ruling of the die, and the standard roll order has been established.
Oh, they put it into the box and then they shake the box, I see.
Inmate Jose, please come forth. You are the first in the initiative order. Therefore, fate's judgment shall fall upon you before all else.
Initiative, it's glitching.
Me? Okay.
The prisoner steps forward, taking the fragile box in his hands. Shaking it to roll the die, you have absorbed fate inside. The die stops, and just like that, a simple number decides his fate.
17! It's 17! Ah, what a wonderful number! 17! Like an oasis in an endless desert.
The result is 17, and the score combination 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. According to the ruling of the die, he shall receive 60 risperidone tablets, 40 clozapine tablets, and 40 diazepam tablets. Additionally, he will assume the role of cultural manager of the Comala Congress.
Huh. I see.
Before he takes office, inmate Jose must clean the first restroom for the next 7 days.
Wonderful! I'll gladly clean the toilet. I've got the brooms here, the toilet detergent, oh, and the toilet brush too. I have been waiting for this opportunity. As cultural manager, I will speak with every inmate and complete the Comala memoir, finally capturing the moments when literary sparks ignite and explode.
I love how they have his voice like, go away.
Next is inmate Eduardo. Please come forth.
The man in question is a nervous mess. His gaze flickers, his eyebrows fight for space on his forehead, and his teeth clash against each other in turmoil.
But I can't remember the ruling of the die. I can't remember anything. Damn it. Sorry, Senora Octavia, but I don't think I can do this. I didn't get any medication in the last Congress. I've had multiple episodes. It's like my brain's jammed or something.
Also, like if you get a bad roll, you just get no medication and you're fucked. I see.
It's all right, inmate Eduardo. It's easy. You don't need to know the rules to roll the die. Give me your hand, I'll help you.
The prisoner follows suit, hands trembling as he shakes the box. The only thing he can do.
My sincerest apologies, inmate Eduardo. The die dictates that you must voluntarily descend into the sewers and write the thematic keyword that currently causes you the most anxiety on the walls.
Oh, what? What?
I thank you very much, Miss Octavia. I think my head's about to split in half. I need a moment to rest before I head down there and fulfill my destiny.
Clutching his head, the prisoner leaves. His steps heavy, his hands empty, but his brow finally falling at ease.
Jailer, are you really letting them make every decision with the roll of a die? Eduardo is clearly in a much more dire condition than Jose. The medication should have been given to him.
As I said, this is how the inmates of the Panopticon maintain order. The physician periodically provides medication, food, and other necessities, and the inmates distribute them in this spontaneous and efficient manner.
I don't know if I will call this efficient, but sure.
Neither authority nor violence is involved in this process. This is what sets Kamala apart from all other custodial facilities.
Gambling-based healthcare, hell yeah.
Is that it? You abdicate all agency to the role of a paper die and call it the randomness of fate? What kind of sick joke is this?
Please calm down, Recoleta. This is the method that the inmates have collectively decided to recognize. They're prepared to face the possible sacrifices that it brings. This isn't about you or me. It's not our place to interfere with a procedure that has been proven both pragmatic and effective.
Define effective.
My duty is to assist the inmates in maintaining order through the methods that they have established. And yours is to witness their self-governance, not judge it.
The jailer takes a deep breath. Her words clearly meant to convince herself as much as anyone listening.
If everything somehow unfolds as it does in my novel, then every role was already predetermined. Vertin, do you remember the story I told you last night? The odds of both success and failure were consecutively multiplied.
I remember.
As soon as a character experiences a failure, they continue to suffer failures in an endless chain reaction. None of Eduardo's future dice rolls will ever result in a number higher than 10. At this rate, this system, this sociedad, ruled by the dice of Babylon, is bound to collapse.
She looks around, realizing that her words, weighty as they seem to her, have garnered no attention.
Eduardo will never receive any medication. The moment he writes the keyword on the wall could very well be the moment he spells out his own death. No, I can't let this happen. I have to do something.
Recoleta rushes to the stage.
Wait, Miss Recoleta, what are you doing?
What are you doing indeed? Anyway, let's listen to the song and get copyright struck. Because we love doing that. Reverse 1999. Where is it? Videos. I'm pretty sure I saw it. No? I saw it under Twitter, I'm pretty sure. I think it's this one. Oh, I think it is the Tangle Tango one. Yeah, that seems to be it. That's the one that had some Spanish in the tweet. I just kind of saw the Spanish and thought the title was in Spanish, but no, it just had like a little Spanish description. But all right, let's see what this is. Where's my audio interface? All right. Now let me fix this. All right. And we silence the game for a second and hide it. And let's see. Let's get that copyright strike, boys. You current live? I don't know the lyrics. It's alright, I don't mind though. It's whatever. Why is there water everywhere? I have no idea. I love that they made an entire ass song in Spanish. I'm like, hell yeah. It's not water, then what is it? They're dancing. I think it's almost ending. Oh yeah. All right, now we go back to the game. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be water. Oh, the game audio. There we go. We got Mr. Narrator.
Soldiers would appreciate the idea of taking orders from an accursed die. A skilled commander would never rely on luck to make decisions. On the battlefield, the distance for every maneuver should be clear and precise. Not two numbers with a D in the middle. Unless you're looking to invite a mutiny.
Is that a D&D reference?
That said, if a die with such power were placed in a soldier's hand, I'm pretty sure they'd roll it and let it decide their destiny.
Luck won't always be on your side.
Exactly. There's no good luck without bad luck. Just as a coin must have two sides, luck essentially defines one's entire life. And whether it's make or break, life or death, the die will keep on rolling. Of course, dice aren't the only tools used to play with fate. Coins, lotteries, even shells on the beach can all serve the same purpose. Thanks to the randomness of fate, a Babylonian may rise to be a proconsul one day and fall into slavery the next.
Some tragedies could have been avoided.
Well, that's where historians come in. With a little creative editing of the history books, even the random rolls of a die can suddenly make sense.
Uh-huh.
What were once avoidable tragedies are rebranded as reasonable incidents, or even desirable outcomes.
Yes. At least the roll of a die is impartial.
You're starting to sound like a gambler.
I'm playing a gacha. What did you expect?
But even gamblers, after hitting a hot streak or a losing spell, start to convince themselves that they've figured out the grand pattern behind games of chance. It isn't just gamblers either. Witches tried to influence fate through rituals and charms. Ancient mathematicians calculated probabilities on paper. Some even wrote books on game theory. Meanwhile, others suspected there were cheaters among them. I just hope these high rollers unite to confront the demon who holds the laws of the universe, the past, present, and future, in its claws, and give it a well done and a slap in the face.
You're talking in circles today.
Haven't I always? It's just that today, the die rolled a peculiar number.
Yeah, they always kind of talk in circles. What was that comment about?
But all things considered, I prefer the other kind of commander. The die is cast, but regardless of what number has been rolled, it's time to cross the river.
Complete. What commander did you mean? Treatments. Entry 303. The transformation of quantity into quality is the greatest realization of the method of exhaustion. December 1. Numbers 704 to 733. Each person is uniformly allocated 1 dose of chlorpromazine and 1 dose of thalidomide. December 3. Number 704 to 710, 712 to 730, 732, and 733. Each person is uniformly allocated 3 doses of chlorpromazine and 3 doses of thalidomide. December 7. Numbers 706 to 708, 712 to 717, 722 to 730, and 732. Each person is uniformly allocated 6 doses of chlorpromazine and 11 doses of Veronal. I don't know any of these names. We're tripling the dose, yep. Alright. This is 26 minutes later than the last one. Soothsayer, World Maker. The goddess delights in toying with the piety of her believers. Nice. I'm getting kind of EP since I had to wake up early today, so I'll probably rate up to 12 or 13, depending on how long they are. On the stage, Octavia remains a picture of serenity as she orchestrates the Congress.
Miss Recoleta, as a witness to the Congress, you have the right to express your doubts calmly.
Listen,
You are all trapped inside my story. I'm sure if you tell them that will go well. She recalls the complaints of her 2 former companions, the jailer's dismissals, and the confused expressions of every editor she has ever faced. If she were to lay out every detail of her novel here and now, she will only get the same response.
No, it's nothing. It's just that I'd like to participate in the dice rolling ceremony. May I?
Of course. The very fact that you're standing here in the Panopticon proves that you share a common fate with it.
Recoleta surveys the prisoners waiting to cast their die. Their expressions are serene, untroubled, calmly awaiting their fate. The joys and misfortunes of those before them do not affect the long, winding queue in the slightest. She takes a deep breath.
It doesn't matter when I roll the die, since the rolls are simply a reflection of the randomness of fate, right?
Precisely.
Then I'd like to perform my role after the 27th inmate. Is that alright?
As you wish, Miss Recoleta.
That's an exact number? Happy and bothered by fate, moisturized by all the water in their lane, jail is the lane. Pretty much. Yo, we get Recoleta! Let's bring Kakania back here then.
Take my hand. You might feel better.
Program activated.
Yo! Nothing happens. A small game that examines your luck. Roll a dice every round. Different numbers cause different effects. Oh no!
A fragment of truth.
In todos los momentos.
Charging.
I'll be right here.
Do I have to do this?
The light that illuminates all.
This roll good. They call her Recoleta also because of recollections. I don't think Recoleta has anything to do with the word recollections.
Don't worry.
Loading.
Más allá del concepto mundano
All
del
in
tiempo.
moderation.
Somebody out gotcha my
Target
gotcha.
confirmed.
Idealismo, vuelos de fantasía, patrones ocultos.
2, nothing happens. There is a whole lot of nothing happening.
A fragment of truth.
I don't know how to
En
feel about it.
todos los momentos.
Barrage.
No use in avoiding it.
1 box left. I mean 1 box down. 2 left.
Este aliado es la verdad.
5. Deal 1 damage to random enemy. Ooh, they call her Recoleta because Rupel saw how much we love Barcarola. Very valid. Very true also.
Loading.
Don't worry. It's been proven safe.
Charging. Target confirmed.
All in moderation.
Eliminate target.
There's another one there. Pew! Now there's only 1 left. For real, for real. Deal 1 damage to random enemy. Triggers 2 times. Let's go! Yippee!
Great. Now back to the salon.
It seems fate favors you, Miss Recoleta. Here are your supplies.
Yo, we also get a whole ass bar of soap?
Please be sure to follow the distribution rules of the Congress. This is an essential structure of Comala, and a belief shared by all its inmates. Honor it.
I love that they just were like, okay, you can roll the die and yeah, here, have some supplies. Even though you are not an inmate in here.
Just as I suspected. These supplies belong to me now, Octavia. I'm free to use them however I please.
Yes. Recoleta strides towards Eduardo, who has curled up in a distant corner, clutching his head as his body trembles in silence.
Here, Eduardo. Take them.
But I haven't fulfilled my destiny yet. These precious tablets and capsules, I can't accept them. They are gifts from fate. The die has placed them in your palm.
And therefore, she can do with them as she wishes.
But I don't need them. You do.
Thank you, kind senorita.
The prisoner's trembling stops. He blankly pinches his arm, as if trying to distinguish reality from dream. Then, all at once, he snatches the medication from her hand and shoves it into his mouth. No, not all at once!
Eduardo, what's wrong? Are you taking the medicine right now? There's no need to rush. There's plenty of it. You can have it all.
Por Dios, Eduardo! How could you squander fate's gifts like this? Kind señorita, please, give me the medication. I need it more than anyone else.
No, I'm the one who needs the most.
Oops.
Give me the medication. I beg of you. With the protection of these amulets, I might finally be able to get a peaceful night's sleep. No more trembling floors and wailing ghosts.
Amulets? The prisoners shove and struggle, countless hands reaching toward the helpless rider, trying to snatch the small round pills of salvation.
Enough! Enough!
A blue glow spreads through the room, forcing the prisoners to clutch their heads and fall down to their knees. The riot comes to an abrupt halt.
You shouldn't have done that, Miss Recoleta. Your ignorant generosity could shatter the very basis of our survival.
She steps toward Eduardo, now writhing in pain, and picks up a few stray capsules scattered at his feet. The pills dissolve into a stream of voided sand, vanishing as it pours through her fingers.
We have never had such chaos at the Congress. Understand this. We rely only on the randomness of fate to distribute supplies and assign responsibilities. If you disrupt the status quo, the entire system of the Panopticon will collapse beyond repair.
God forbid people have some empathy.
It is only by respecting the arbitrariness of fate and adhering to the rules of the Die of Babylon that we have kept this place functioning all this time.
Ooh, Die of Babylon is also glitching.
The Die of Babylon? Tell me, how did you know this name? Are you the one orchestrating this whole thing?
Recoleta, equally confused and furious, grabs the hostess collar.
¿Podría ser? ¿Eres Aleph? ¿Tal como sospechaba Verdun?
Let go of me, Miss Recoleta. Have you gone mad?
I know how she said like Vertin. Very English-like, even though she was speaking Spanish.
The role of the die is absolutely random. I'm not orchestrating anything. Before the Congress began, I made an oath. I intend to keep it.
Please, calm down, Miss Recoleta. I think she's telling the truth.
She lets go of her grip as the reality of their situation dawns on her.
Sorry, Octavia, but please, you have to tell me how you learned about the Die of Babylon. I must know. Only my pen pal and I should have any knowledge about this die.
I heard about it from the physician. He described it as a symbol of collective consciousness that we could harness to maintain immaculate order in the Panopticon. The Comala Congress was coined, iterated, and perfected by the physician based on this concept.
Yo, Recoleta, your ideas are getting stolen.
The physician again. Everything eventually leads back to him. Just as we suspected.
I see.
Recoleta casts her eyes toward the silent jaguar, who has remained wordless from beginning to end, watching it all unfold.
Jailer, we have to meet with the physician in person. Now.
As I've told you many times, Dr. Merlin is too busy at the moment. I couldn't possibly trouble him over a novel and a pen pal. They are just fantasies.
Couldn't you make an exception? What if they're not just fantasies? What if they're tied to the very survival of this place? Miss Recoleta said the Panopticon could collapse because of the Die of Babylon.
Are you seriously telling me you believe that nonsense?
It wasn't nonsense, nor are they fantasies. You saw with your own eyes how I won the die roll.
It was just a coincidence.
The jailer's words are at odds with the subtle motions of her eyes and face. The Foundation's investigator sees on a prime opportunity to apply pressure.
What if we present you with stronger evidence? To prove it's more than just a coincidence. If everything in the Panopticon proceeds according to Miss Recoletta's novel as she says, she should be able to predict what happens next, including the roll results of the absolutely random die.
That's right. The Die of Babylon isn't random at all. It's nothing but a supercilious fraud veiled under the guise of fate, and an actor of the inescapable loop of history. And not one of you is paying attention to me whatsoever. Ugh, to hell with this era of ignoring unknown writers.
Damn!
Miss Recoletta, please make your prediction for the next inmate's die roll. This way, you can prove to Miss Jailer the irrefutable connection between Kamala and your novel, The Rise and Fall of Sanity.
You finally remembered its name! Oh, what sweet balm to my spirit.
Miss Octavia, please continue the Congress and let the next inmate perform their role. Then Miss Recoletta's statement will be proven true.
Unless the hostess of the Congress remains non-committal.
I appreciate the reminder. No matter the interruption, the Kamala Congress must go on. Though not for Miss Recoletta's sake, of course. Next inmate, please.
Following the die's designated order, the next prisoner steps forward to roll.
Hello, inmate Garcia. You know what to do.
Of course.
La sexta cara. Un pilar roto. El flujo de la fortuna y la calamidad. So the result of the next roll will be a 6.
Will it be a 6? Oh my god, it is. Her prophetic precision plunges the hall of new encounters into breathless silence.
As fate reveals, the number is 6.
Just as Miss Recoletta predicted.
That could still be a coincidence. Do it again.
Do it again!
La 13ª cara. Una cadencia desconcertante, sin un verdadero principio ni fin. La 4ª cara. Un hombre que se ahogaba usó el último de sus fuerzas para nadar a la seguridad, solo para descubrir que había confundido un espejo con la superficie del agua. La 17ª cara. Cojeaba hacia el distante oasis, solo para que la débil humedad y la inquietante quietud revelaran cruelmente que era un espejismo. La 6ª cara. Otro pilar roto con grietas idénticas a la última. Confirmó la hipótesis de la investigadora de paracausalidad. Este lugar solía ser un edificio circular. Is that enough? I've almost finished the entire chapter.
It's not possible.
Don't like a dice roll, just roll. You can do it. Who's gonna stop you? The DM? God? Exactly. What if I'm the DM? One coincidence after another begins to steer into an uproar. The coincidences appear endless.
Who are you?
I'm sorry if this comes as a shock to you, but I did warn you, Octavia.
I am your god.
Now it's proven. The Die of Babylon is anything but the so-called randomness of fate.
Have you been sent here by some god? Or are you a hobby prophet?
I am God. I just really want Recoleta to say that.
Have you brought this knowledge to save us? Or to shatter our beliefs? Our world?
A question destined never to need an answer. She lets her eyes fall into the cardboard box and onto the 20-sided die. The ridiculousness of its nature becomes starkly visible.
What is this thing in my hand? What are we? What is this prison?
A social experiment.
I don't know if it's some kind of sorcery or arcane skill, but it's unfathomable. I'll take you to the physician. Not because of your earlier request, but because the situation has escalated beyond my means. The overseer of the Panopticon will decide how to handle your situation.
To be honest, Miss Recoleta, I wasn't sure you'd be able to correctly predict everything.
Damn, Martin, you gamble too.
Timekeeper, are you saying that you risked everything on a hunch?
It worked, didn't it?
I mean, yes!
Come with me. Dr. Merlin's office is in the central tower.
For her part, the now vindicated writer follows at the end of the line, letting her mind race like a bullet train.
En la sexta versión de mi novela, todos en el pueblo mueren a causa del dado de Babilonia. Porque solo la muerte puede cerrar el ciclo de la historia.
I see.
Y carcelero, eres el empleado del banco, ¿verdad? Entonces, al final, también sufrirás un colapso como el empleado del banco, cuando se da cuenta de que él y el pescador de dunas son la misma persona.
Hiroto, insane novel there. Going to jail for cheating fate, yep.
If all of this is tied to the rise and fall of sanity, then, as its creator, I will get to the bottom of this.
Will she though? Will she? Probably not. Just write a happy ending, you can do it. Yeah, I'm gonna read for this one, so let me refill my mate. I am returned. You can do it, don't put an Alan Wake. God, I need to play Alan Wake so badly. Mika will do anything but write a happy ending. True. Alright. The Weaving of Shadows, Volume 5. The Wanderer shatters, and an astrologer glimpses an unspeakable truth. Enter the darkness. After that, I attended several more literary salons and wrote things I had never dared write before. Miss Octavia, however, never made an appearance. I didn't see her for quite some time. That was until I followed some prisoners to a large hall and heard her voice among a group of unfamiliar inmates. She noticed me and greeted me warmly. She told me she had been working on some new initiatives. She told me of her hopes to gather more support, to improve conditions in the prison and initiate a spiritual shift toward realism and resistance. I truly believed, back then, that everything was heading in the right direction. But before all eyes, the host of the assembly, the idealist, steps up to the podium. By the randomness of fate, we have gathered here to participate in the Kamala Congress. Before the eyes of destiny, historians and astrologers alike, I now declare a new rule amendment. A duel before a crowd of eager eyes. The winner awarded 10 pounds of gold, and the loser left with 10 flies to the sun upon him. Before the Kamala Congress convenes, we shall assign 2 members of La Sociedad this noble mission, a duel decreed by fate. Doris hears the faint clink of a small object rattling inside a box. Jose, Julio, step forward and draw the sharpest blade of your literary thought. According to the rules, I will preside over this duel with fairness and impartiality. Now, prepare yourselves. The absurd, fictional, metaphysical duel ends within a fraction of a second. The victorious prisoner receives 10 shining golden pills, while the loser collapses to the floor. The crowd erupts into chaos, Octavia's cries rising out of the noise.
What's going on?
Mr. Julio, he's having another seizure.
Miss Erd, please, Julio needs your help.
Octavia, you know this is all part of the randomness of fate. The randomness of fate? She doesn't argue back as she usually would. Instead, she stands frozen in place, as if stunned. What's the matter, Miss Octavia? This is an emergency. I require your assistance. Answer me, Octavia. Where are you trying to change Julio's fate? Because no one should die like this.
I don't want him to die. Please, Miss Octavia, help me so I can help him.
Her voice cracks, leaving only the sound of her stifled sobs lingering in the air. What's wrong, Miss Octavia? How's his condition now? Miss Octavia? She remains silent. After a long pause, she casts a heavy stone into the bottomless water. Miss Ord.
Mr. Julio is gone. He left us the moment the duel was over.
How could that be? Seizures can potentially lead to irreversible brain damage. But how could it happen so fast? A precious life, gone so quickly, chopped away by something so senseless, lost in a nonsensical duel. What exactly is this so-called Congress? Some kind of punitive system unique to Kamala prison? But how can so much life be decided by something so absurd? Are we simply meant to surrender to a fate so twisted, no matter how absurd it is? Is it too irrefutable? This isn't the fate I seek. It's a distortion of it. It's my fault for not finding a better way. I used to think Mr. Julio didn't care about anything but his own novels. I never imagined my ideals would mean anything to him. But he was the first person in La Sociedad to support me. But that really was an irreversible fate. A fate granted to Mr. Julio by the Die of Babylon. The Die of Babylon? Her question is left unanswered. The host of the salon goes on. Julio has stepped up the endless staircase and reached the silent water. He has become as calm water dissolved into his own pond. Let us offer our blessings, or silence, or farewell to this martyr of fate. And let us imagine that Julio's literary career was a happy one. The hall remains deadly silent. No applause, no response.
A life is taken, and that's all you have to say?
You really don't care whether we live or die, do you, idealist? And all of you? Don't any of you have anything to say? Why are you all just standing there? If we hadn't kept rejecting the physician's treatment, maybe Mr. Julio wouldn't have... Rejecting? How ridiculous. You have no clue what that demon in human skin is capable of. How he'll reach into your mind and mold it like clay, reshaping it until it becomes your prison. In the realm of fiction, fate, unreality, the dissolution of the ego is inevitably irreversible. Therefore, we must not resist the ending dealt to us by the Die of Babylon. Do you even know what you're talking about? I never truly understood you, idealist. I will find a better way. I must rewrite this tragic tale. If you disagree, then leave La Sociedad. I will not have our great poem disrupted by an offbeat syllable. Besides, your tedious talk of social responsibility should have been purged long ago. Modern Latin America belongs to visceral realism, and you're too ignorant to even attempt to seek it out.
What a ridiculous, laughable man you are!
Yes, I see it clearly now. It's your tyranny that has driven everyone to ruin. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not living. I will establish a new literary movement right here in Comala, right here in La Sociedad de Poetas de las Américas. And we will use our literature to rescue the inmates who suffer all around us.
I've had enough of your condescending stone-hearted ego and your pompous sophistry. He'll only bring misfortune upon us with his constant rambling about that visceral realism.
I hope I never see you again. Miss Earth, we have to get you out of here. Another second around, this maniac might just doom us all.
Only the physician, the true overseer of this prison, can save us from this situation.
Oh no, the prisoners are mad. And the doctors, also mad. And Vertin, also mad. So true.
Please join our society, Miss Torres.
Let us build a renewed Sociedad de Poetas together. I'm already speaking with the jailer. As long as we follow the rules and help them manage Comala, we'll be free to discuss literature.
Forgive me, Miss Octavia. While I truly appreciate your kind offer, I'm afraid my conversation with the physician must remain private.
Why?
Please answer me this question first. From what you've seen, you say this prison is circular in shape, yes?
Yes.
Then tell me, at the center of this structure, is there a watchtower? What? Impossible! You guessed it exactly. And our destination is somewhere inside that watchtower. How did you know?
I've had such a lovely time here. So much so that I almost forgot what I came for.
Which is precisely why I must put an end to this cruel farce masquerading as fate. Do you intend to rebel against the Watchtower's gaze, just like the idealist? You misunderstand me, Miss Octavia.
That inescapable gaze, and the permanent theme of fate.
To get closer to the truth I seek, I have no choice but to meet the administrator that young lady spoke of.
You've decided to save the people here with your own hands, in your own way, and so have I. There are things I must face alone.
Though she is well used to death, the pain of Julio's passing still lingers in her heart, causing her to say these words that don't quite feel like herself.
I see. Lend me your palm. I'll draw you the way to his office. Good luck to you. And to all of us.
Farewell, Miss Octavia. I truly hope all goes well for you in the days ahead.
As Octavia retreats, slowly fading into a distance, she quietly adds,
And in your journey, finding answers about fate, too.
Ding! Alright. Let's do one more. 12, behind the operating curtain. This is same day, March 23rd. Almost 1 p.m, 12:53. What disrupted this era? What unraveled time? The shadow lurking in the ruins answers. Madness. Interesting. Tango going crazy. Oh yeah, Tango was going insane. So, Central Tower watching area. An otherwise tidy room is covered in fine scratches and small unidentifiable stains. The smell of disinfectant lingers in the air, mixed with mildew.
Wait here a moment. I'll report the situation and your request to Dr. Merlin. However, since he's always busy, I can't guarantee he'll agree to meet you. But I'll do my best to persuade him.
The jaguar's figure slinks out through the inner door.
Now's our chance, Sinetto.
Our chance? What do you mean, Timekeeper?
Yeah, our chance for what?
It's unlikely that the jailer will let us search the central tower, even in this situation. We should take the initiative and look for clues while she's away.
I see, Timekeeper. I will do my best.
Sonera swiftly conducts a thoroughly unauthorized search.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Recoleta. Without your precise predictions, we wouldn't be standing here now. I haven't yet grasped the connection between the die, your novel, and what's happening in this place. But, by process of elimination, it's almost certain that your pen pal, Aleph, is right behind this door.
Sometimes I envy your decisiveness, Vertin. I'm sure many people have praised this special talent of yours.
Are you alright? You don't seem as excited as when we first entered Kamala.
Recoleta holds her gaze on the tightly shut door, uncertain whether she hopes it will open now or ever again.
The all-seeing sentinel of the Panopticon, veiled within the central tower. If it truly is Aleph, I don't know how to face such a terrifying and increasingly plausible reality.
Sorry to interrupt, but... Timekeeper, I think you'll want to see these.
Signed Erd. This is a letter from Dr. Dorez.
The delicate signature matches the one in the manuscript folder.
Her handwriting. It's as beautiful as I'd imagined. Who is it addressed to? Dear Mr. Aleph.
Aleph? Looks like Dorez and Aleph are acquaintances. Or at least, they've had some correspondence. Dear Mr. Aleph, my apologies if this reaches you at an inconvenient time. I am Dorez, pen name Erd, an ordinary inmate of the Panopticon of Kamala. I write seeking your guidance, if you wouldn't mind offering it to me.
I heard from the physician, Dr. Merlin,
that
you have the answer to every question. A statement which has been echoed by the idealist and the other inmates. I have something I wish to ask you. What exactly is your role at the prison? Chief Warden? A secret backer? An observer who dominates the prison? Are you truly the supreme ruler of the Panopticon of Kamala?
They tear open the next letter, eager to read on.
Dear Erd, I do indeed have answers for every question, including yours. I'm afraid every one of your speculations is off the mark. I am merely an inmate who chose to imprison himself here. And allow me to point out that your identity isn't as ordinary as you claim. Why is it that you, my fellow inmate and guest of Manus Vindictae, are so interested in Kamala?
Real questions.
Dr. Dorez, a guest of Manus Vindictae.
Ooh. A muffled shattering of glass interrupts her reading.
It came from inside the room. Do you think they're okay?
The jailer and the physician! What happened?
The door defies any attempt at an answer, sealing all the events from
I'm
view.
not sure, but it could be bad. Come on, let's go in and see if they're all right.
Oh no, do not open the door. No. Central Tower Surgical Theater. The unlocked door leads to another room, more decrepit and oppressive than the last. A cold operating table lies in the center, surrounded by scattered bottles and medical instruments.
It seems we've stumbled upon the physician's...
The physician's office. I should have known. But... is this an operating room? As if this prison wasn't bizarre enough already.
Inside the narrow operating room, the Jaguar reacts badly to her intrusion.
Didn't I tell you to wait outside? What do you think you're doing barging in like this?
We were just worried about your safety, jailer.
Enough. Get out of...
Quiet. The reptilian complex governs all our fundamental functions. Our heartbeat, breathing, fight or flight responses, and our territory and hierarchy awareness. Our primitive ancestors, like reptiles and birds, followed such instincts to survive. Through millions of years of evolution, we developed the limbic system. This processes emotions and forms memories. It allows us to feel fear, sadness, anger, joy. Our behaviors are given meaning. Now it's the neocortex that makes up more than 2/3 of our total brain volume. Language, perception, logical reasoning, abstract thought. This is what forms the complexity of human nature. We read, create, perceive. We try to understand both the world and ourselves. We are forever setting goals, one after another. And all this, these multitudes, happens within the confines of the skull, in the tight folds of the crowded cerebral cortex.
Is he performing surgery?
Such a delicate and elaborate organ. Were it unable to forget, what would come of it? Can this space, no larger than the palm of my hand, truly accommodate dozens of people at once?
At last, the physician sets down his operating scissors and needle, signaling the end of the surgery. Yet at the same time, the old machine issues an alarm, signaling that his patient's vital signs are wavering.
What's happened to the patient? It looks like he's dying.
Your anxiety rises as the question goes unanswered. On the screen, the last waveforms disappear, leaving only a constant flat tone.
¿Fracasó la cirugía?
Nonsense. The surgery was a tremendous success.
Okay, but what was the surgery for? Did you remove their brain?
I have erased his debilitating hysteria and restored order to the panopticon.
I mean, I guess that's one way to put it.
What are you trying to achieve by barging in here?
The man behind the operating table stares at the uninvited guests expectantly, but does not give them a chance to respond.
Forget it. The next operation requires my attention. Jailer, show them out. Bring me the next patient in 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, Miss Vertin. I'm afraid you have to leave now.
Recoleta steps forward, blocking their path. There is a hint of pleading in her voice.
Please, just let us speak with you. It'll only take a moment. I have something very important I need to ask.
Her question is not given time to take shape.
Important. Nothing is of greater importance than my experiments in the Panopticon, outsiders. To ensure they continue, the stability of time and schedule is absolutely paramount.
Experiments in the Panopticon? So you really are the controller of the prison, then?
Controller? What an outdated notion. Superficial, really. The Panopticon has no need for such power, regardless of who occupies the central tower, or even if no one's there at all. Every inmate is both the observer and the observed, both wielders and subjects of power. Achieving such a state requires no physical or violent measures. The structure of the Panopticon itself is the mechanism which sustains it. Kamala is simply a manifestation of this model. Once I confirm its feasibility and adaptability, this model can be applied to any functional setting with only minor modifications. So far, it has proven to be far superior to any current system of governance in our world. Transcendental, even. Curse it. Why am I wasting time explaining this to you? Time is running out.
Running out for what? The investigator keenly senses the key within his words.
Dr. Marlin, you keep mentioning time. What exactly do you mean by that?
Really? You need to ask? Even those oily-headed lunatics know it. The end of this era is imminent, is it not?
Indeed. The word that was so close to being spoken.
You know about the storm?
That's what you call it, is it? A storm that washes everything away? You employees of the St. Pavlov Foundation should know better than I. Soon, this era and everything in it will cease to exist. I must prove the feasibility of the Panopticon model before this place is turned to ruins, or something even more unrecognizable.
A storm that washes everything away? Burton, what on earth are you two talking about?
Oh yeah, Recoleta. By the way, there's this thing called the storm that erases entire eras. You know, it's don't worry about it. The conversation extends beyond even the most imaginative creations of this aspiring writer.
No one can predict the era to which we will be reversed. I have seen the eras change time and time again. The transformation of this place, over and over.
Wait. You've seen them?
But no matter which era each of these 9 storms, as you call them, has taken us back to, Cordeismo continues to plague this land.
9? What's caudillismo? Spanish fails me. Caudillismo. Caudillismo. Wikipedia, la enciclopedia libre. El caudillismo fue un fenómeno político ocurrido en América Latina en el siglo... I know Roman numerals. 19. Después de las guerras independistas, que dejaron un vacío de poder y debilidad institucional que fue llenado por caudillos, líderes militares de estilo personalista y autoritario que se dedicaron a la política después de tomar el poder por la fuerza. El poder de los caudillos se basaba en el apoyo de fracciones importantes de las masas populares. Este apoyo popular se tomaba en su contra cuando las esperanzas puestas en el poder entregado al caudillo se veían frustradas y se decidía seguir a otro caudillo que lograra convencer de su capacidad de mejorar el país o la provincia. Este fenómeno se dio en América Latina durante prolongados periodos de su historia republicana. En algunos casos desembocó en fuertes dictaduras, represiones a la oposición y estancamiento económico y político. Pero en otros canalizó las primeras modalidades democráticas y federales de las repúblicas latinoamericanas, así como proyectos de desarrollo autónomo frente a las expresiones políticas neocoloniales. Ajá, I see. Caudillo, sí. He knows the exact number of times. Yeah, I'm like, whoa. He's been counting the storms. Como los dueños de cachas de tierra. You know Roman numerals, you have 99 in your head? Exactly. Era lo más cercano al gobernador de provincia. I see. Now for the English guys. A caudillo is a type of personalist leader wielding military and political power. There is no precise English translation for the term, though it is often used interchangeably with military dictator, warlord, and strongman. The term is historically associated with Spain and Hispanic America, after virtually all of the regions in the latter won independence in the early 19th century.
Dependency theorists, martyred revolutionists. I've seen them all. You, young writer, are no different from those intellectuals who were swept away in the rain. There is no romance in this era, only the repeated cycles of madness and brutality. An endless, meaningless struggle. Only in this forgotten corner can we momentarily escape the plundering of the marauders and the chaos they unleash. Although it won't be long before this place is looted by those oily-headed lunatics, just as it has countless times before on this land as rich as silver.
He mutters to himself.
But there is still hope. Even in a wasteland, we may still be saved, as long as I uncover the path to transcendentality. I will find the ultimate answer. Ugh. I've already wasted far too much time on you. Leave, now.
The physician turns away, beginning preparations for the next surgery, organizing his worn-out instruments.
You heard him. Please don't press things any further.
No, I think we should press things further.
All right, Senor. I get it. Obviously, you don't want to discuss my novel with me anymore. So I won't insist upon it. All the letters we wrote to one another. All those inspiring revisions and suggestions. I guess they meant nothing to you.
No, Recoleta. Her voice wavers. Rejections, closed doors, harsh critiques. This proves more devastating than all of them together.
But there's still something I must tell you. Jailer, could you please allow us a private conversation with the No. With Aleph.
Hearing this, the physician stops.
Leave us, jailer. I'll spare these outsiders 5 minutes.
The jaguar turns to leave, her face revealing an uncharacteristic sorrow as she lingers on the girls one last time. This time, she offers no words. Damn, thank you for subscribing, Sky Saver, if you're watching. Thank you very much. Dang! But okay, as I said, I'm very EP since I have to wake up early. And I think that is a good stopping point. A lot of stuff just went down. Leave it like that. Recoleta pool. I don't have anything. I don't even have enough for what? I am so poor. Remember to farm before Thursday, so hopefully I'll have enough for a few pulls. As you can see, I have not used my stamina. And one gamble away to win. I already lost the 50-50. I don't even know if it's a 50-50 here, but you know, I just got so used to calling it that.
The lights here are amazing.
Let's go back here for a second. Let me close the game. Yes, return to login interface. Yeah. Stop game. Stop game. Quit the game. Yes, I do want to quit the game. I hope you get her. Thank you. I really want to get her. If you know, I'll survive. So, as I mentioned a few times before, I'm already at the point in gacha games that I'm just like, if I don't get the character, I'm just like, whatever. Especially in reverse, when they get added, where they get added to like the permanent pool. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, there'll be reruns. I'll get them next time. That's kind of how I'm operating all my gachas now. My life has been much better ever since. I hope your next policy one. Thank you. Of course, I'm always like, you know, it still makes me happy when I get the character. But otherwise, I'm just like, that's alright. But yeah, things are starting to pick up. I love that it's... I mean, they probably did it on purpose, considering all the inspirations they had for this chapter. But it very much feels like reading, you know, one of those novels by those authors. Like, you know, I had to read a few at school, and they were like usually very like metaphoric and poetic and not like entirely clear. And it feels very much like reading one of those. So I'm like, oh yeah, I played these games before. Been there, done that. But yeah, it's been great. It does make it a bit long-winded though, but I think it's been paced good enough. And, you know, and we have Bertina Soneto there, who to speak normally every now and then in between all the crazy. Latam literature starter pack. Yeah, exactly. It really feels like, you know, those all, you know, I had to read like Julio Cortázar and others. I don't remember the names anymore, but, you know, I had to read a few. And some of those books were really like, aha, yes, I see. Pretty sure I read El Túnel also from Ernesto Sabato. And, you know, kind of books like that. Cien años de soledad también. O sea, la verdad no sé si leí 100 años de soledad, pero, you know, todos conocían 100 años de soledad. Pero libros de esa índole. And yeah, it really kind of feels like reading those books, you know, with all the quote-unquote complicated dialogue, you know, all the metaphors and like the rambling. And then you have like one or two characters that are just like, aha, yes, of course, I see. In this case, Bertina Soneto. Recoleta is kind of halfway there, you know, she doesn't sound entirely crazy like the others that are kind of living in their own delusions. But she still gets kind of insane sometimes. I love her. Love that about her. But yeah, now we got to, you know, she recognized the physician as Aleph. So what I hear is that those metaphors carried all the way through all the book. Yeah. But yeah, the reveal with Aleph there, the physician, that was interesting. I mean, for the people that kind of look at the characters, you know, I already knew that was Aleph. And we already had the little dialogue before in which he kind of talked to himself. But, like, you know, the way that Recoleta just kind of knew, apparently. And, you know, and how he said, like, oh yeah, you know, he revealed that Urd works for Manus Vindictae. Or, like, it's a quote-unquote guest of them. And how he's seen all 9 storms. I mean, like, how? Because, I mean, clearly, Tierra del Fuego, I mean, or the Panopticon at least, has been affected by that. Because he says he's seen it change every time. So I'm like, oh. You had to do a mental dictionary? Yeah. Oh, good old times. Don't you love reading? But yeah, so I'm like, ooh, he's seen the storms. Ahaha. Ahaha. Very, very interesting. But yeah, we'll continue on Thursday. Hopefully on Thursday I won't be as EP. And I mean, I usually get home earlier on Thursday, so hopefully I can start on time and make some good progress. Maybe rush to the end. I don't know how long this chapter is. If not, you know, we'll finish it next week. Reading what's that? I'm EN player. No. Read, EN player, read. I need someone to make a version of that meme with me. It's like, read. But yeah, for now, I said I'm EP. I woke up at 5 a.m. and it's almost 11 p.m. So I am a very EP foxer. So I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for coming. Hope you're enjoying the story. And I'll see you on Thursday for more reverse. On the weekend for more Girls for Online. and hopefully also some expedition, we'll see. But for now, stay safe, stay hydrated, remember to take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.